là l'arracher avec des victoires dans plusieurs jeux papier et au terme d'une à suspense. Les réactions des marchés et des bourses se décrochent le week-end, le prix soviétique un peu de 14%, l'autre moitié du côté des réfugiés, à New York, stupeur et effroi chez les démocrates, dont la candidate était donnée gagnante. Nous irons aussi chez les républicains tout sourire. Le visage de l'Amérique est donc en train de changer, réaction des deux.
Really good, and I thought really loved the editing and cinematography. But I think the one thing that really stood out was the writing and direction in this one. You had really great performances from the actors, but I think without the strong direction and without the strong writing, this story would not work. I think that they did a great job executing this story on all across the board. I really enjoyed this one. It had a great twist at the end that I really didn't see coming, and I think they did a great job.
I thought this one was really strong. On a technical side, I loved a lot of the shots. I loved some of the colors and the backgrounds. The set decoration itself I thought was just delightful. Whether these were practical locations in some cases, I'm not sure. Most likely, but they did a great job in the ones they chose in that case. The performances were really strong, especially the woman who, the name escapes me, she's got this sort of Anne Dowd, Catherine Bates sort of vibe about her, which I think plays so well for that role, and she absolutely nails it. I thoroughly enjoyed her performance, and the rest of the cast does a great job too. The film just ties together in a nice way. It leaves you kind of hanging at the end, and it's definitely worth checking out.
This was filmed so creatively. I loved the way they set up a lot of the shots. Obviously, there was a lot of kind of two realities or two perspectives going on at the same time, so they did a really good job of like kind of the flashing back and forth between the two, and the callbacks throughout. Performances were fantastic. I really enjoyed watching this woman kind of spiraling and kind of going down this path of delusion in her like fit of fear and frustration and misplaced love for her son. And it really just started destroying her life in so many ways. You see kind of everything around her just crumbling, her social circles, her personal life, everything. So it was a really fascinating, very unique storyline. I very much enjoyed it.
This one was such a trip. I really liked this one and have been thinking about it for a while since watching it. I loved the start of it where it starts, it's very domestic and it's cozy, the rain outside, the radio on, you can tell it's a religious household, and then it automatically gets shattered when she sees her son kissing another man. And this invasion of her mind and of her perception of the world was interrupted and jolted us into it. There was really trippy, interesting angles that were slightly skewed or quick jump cuts. The eerie, glowing neon lights in it really made me question the world that we were in, where you couldn't quite trust anything that you saw. And I thought it was really interesting dive into the mother's psyche and wondering, is this real? Is it perhaps untreated trauma from her previous relationship? We know her husband died, and was this an issue they had that she's now projecting on her son? Is the son having a secret double life? All of it was fantastic and escalated in that dinner scene, which I really had to question what was real, and I think that's great filmmaking. The history between the mother and son was so palpable and felt so real and rich, and both actors really held their roles with a lot of gravitas, and there's a lot of nuance and commitment to the script, so I loved it.
It does a wonderful job of specifying the specific situation that this family finds themselves in, a mother and son, no father. And we have a mother who is just struggling so greatly to not only accept her son's sexuality, but also her son's identity with himself, that he enjoys drag, that there is a balance of femininity and masculinity within him that needs to be balanced externally as well as internally. And I think that the story actually serves itself well by not bringing about some kind of tightly knit bow resolution by the end. You know, it is going to be an enduring conflict for them, an issue for them to have to resolve. And at some point, something will have to give. And as we know from seeing other similar styles of stories like such as this one, it is likely her, and rightfully should be her, that does have to give. The dinner scene in the middle is great. It is both tense and funny at different points, and you almost feel like, you're sitting there beside the characters waiting to see what's going to happen next. Very well done.
It was really intricate. I couldn't tell what was real and what wasn't. I couldn't tell if she was hallucinating, or at one point I couldn't tell if I was hallucinating. Although I really loved the costume and the decor here, the apartment was full of texture as well. I just thought it was kind of ironic that she ordered James to take therapy and she really seemed to be the one who needed it. She needed it the most because she'd been through some pretty traumatic, events, having to raise her son on her own, which was not the plan. James as a character, though, seemed very able to take care of himself, handle himself. I think this film dives deep into the expectations of parents as a whole. I do like how James plays with his sexuality, almost like it's a sport. Overall, a really engaging and ambiguous film.
Overall, like I said, I thought the pacing was great as it kind of revealed more and more and more, and you get little bits at a time about the story. Was really nicely kind of pieced together as you get more information and you're tracking and following. I thought all of that was done really well.
It's so sad to see how his mother reacts to finding out that her son kissed another boy and thinking that something is wrong with him. It really shows just how strong homophobia still is in our community, still to this day. It's sad to see how she treats him and how she talks about him and to him after their meeting. And you can tell that she's actually really heartbroken about this. And it's even crazier to see the reveal that she's not even talking to her son. She's actually just talking to herself. It means that she doesn't even feel like she can talk to him about her feelings. You can also feel the tension at the table. And that was a very strong and powerful scene. And the ending reveal was definitely a big plot twist, and it really helped pull the entire story together.